Hello, my friends. Welcome back to Elite English. I'm Jackson, and today I want to take you on a journey. It's a journey that almost every English learner dreams about. The journey from being a complete beginner to finally speaking English with confidence and fluency. Now, many learners ask me, Jack, what is the best order to learn English? Should I focus on grammar first or vocabulary? Should I watch movies or read books or just speak as much as possible? These are excellent questions, and the truth is if you try to learn everything at the same time, you might feel lost or overwhelmed. That's why today I will guide you step by step. I will show you a clear order, a pathway that takes you from the very first stages of learning English all the way to advanced fluency. Think of it like building a house. You cannot live in the house until you first build the foundation. You cannot decorate the house until you first build the walls. Learning English is exactly the same. So, let's begin this journey together. All right. Every house needs a strong foundation. If the foundation is weak, the house will not stand. Okay, think about it. If you build a beautiful house with walls, windows, even decorations, but the ground under it is soft and shaky, what will happen? The house will fall down. Learning English is the same. You cannot start with the roof. You cannot begin with complicated grammar or long essays or fast conversations. You must begin with the ground, the strong, simple base that will support everything else. And what is the foundation in English? It is the very basics. It is a small set of simple words and expressions that you can use to survive in daily life. Imagine you are traveling to an English-speaking country. You step off the plane, you go to a cafe, and you want to order a drink. What do you say? You don't need long sentences, do you? You don't need perfect grammar. You only need something simple. I want water or coffee, please. Okay, as simple as that. Later you walk down the street, you are lost. You want to find a train station. What do you say? Something like, where is the bus or where is the station? Simple, direct, easy to understand. Yeah, this is your foundation. These are the basics. Words like eat, go, phrases like how much. I don't understand. Can you help me? It's not about having thousands of words. In fact, research shows that with just 500 to 1,000 of the most common words, you can already understand a huge amount of everyday English. You won't say everything perfectly, but you will be able to survive. You can buy food, ask for help, tell people what you want, and answer simple questions. At this stage, don't think about perfect grammar. Don't worry if you don't know whether to use present perfect or past simple. Don't worry about speaking quickly, that will come later. For now, focus only on learning the most important words and the simplest grammar patterns. And something magical happens when you do this. Once you can use these simple words in real life, your brain begins to feel more comfortable with English. Suddenly, English is not a mountain that is too high to climb. It becomes something you can actually use, something alive. Now, how do you build this foundation? The answer is repetition. Repetition is your best friend. Listen to the same simple dialogues again and again. Repeat them slowly with care. Say them out loud until they feel natural on your tongue. Try shadowing. That means listening to a sentence and speaking at the same time, almost like an echo. It might feel strange at first, but it's powerful because with every repetition, your mouth and brain work together. And remember, mistakes are not your enemy here. Mistakes are proof that you are learning, that you are building. So if you are at the beginning of your English journey, focus on this stage. Do not rush ahead. Build your foundation strong and steady because once the foundation is strong, Everything you add on top, grammar, vocabulary, fluency, they will stand firm. Okay, now let's go back to our house. You already have the foundation. The foundation is strong, the base is solid. But you cannot live on a foundation alone. Imagine sleeping outside on bare concrete. No walls, no roof, no windows. It's impossible. That's why the next step is to build the structure, the walls that rise above the foundation, and begin to give the house its shape. The same thing happens with your English. Once you have the basics, once you have the small set of survival words and expressions, you need more words. You need more grammar. You need to start creating sentences that are longer, richer, and more flexible. At this stage, you might know how to say, I go to the market. That's good. But it's not enough. Life doesn't happen only in the present, right? Sometimes you need to talk about yesterday. Sometimes you need to talk about tomorrow. Sometimes you need to talk about things that are happening right now, or things that happen regularly. So instead of only saying, I go to the market now, you can say, I went to the market yesterday, or I will go to the market tomorrow, or I'm going to the market now. Do you see how your world is expanding? Suddenly you're not trapped in one moment. You can travel in time. You can express past, present, and future. That is the power of building the structure. And this is also the stage where balance becomes very important. Balance between input and output. Input means listening and reading. It's like the food you give your brain, right? Without food, you cannot grow. But if you only eat and never move, your body will not be healthy. In the same way, if you only listen and read, you may understand a lot, but you won't be able to speak easily. So output means speaking and writing. That's when you use the energy from the food. But if you only speak and write without listening and reading, you may keep repeating the same small set of words. You will not grow. So at this level, you must do both. You must feed your brain and you must train your brain. You can listen to podcasts like this one every day. You can read short stories, new articles, or even dialogues in textbooks. And then immediately try to use what you heard or read. Write 3 or 4 sentences about your day. Call a friend and tell them one thing you learned. And here is where shadowing becomes incredibly powerful. Shadowing is not just repeating words, it is training your mouth, your tongue, your ears, and your brain to work together. You listen to a sentence and you repeat it. First slowly with care, then a little faster. And eventually you match the natural rhythm of the speaker. At first it feels mechanical, but very soon something amazing happens. The sentences no longer feel foreign, they begin to feel natural. And that is when English stops being only a school subject. It starts to feel alive inside you. You are no longer just memorizing words from a book. You are using English as a real language. It becomes part of you, part of how you think, how you express, and how you connect with the world. Okay? So, at this stage, do not rush. The walls of the house cannot be built in one day. In the same way, build your English day by day with patience. Okay, patience. Add new words, try new tenses. Listen a lot. Speak a little more each day. And slowly you will look around and realize your house is no longer just a flat foundation. The walls are rising, the shape is visible, but you will begin to hear the natural rhythm and the music of the language. And of course, keep listening. The more you hear natural English, the more you absorb without even realizing it. The patterns, the expressions, the way sentences rise and fall, they slowly become part of you. Now let me pause here for something important. At this stage, many learners feel frustrated. They understand quite a lot. They can read a book. They can follow a podcast. They can even talk to friends. But when they speak, they still make mistakes. They forget words. Their sentences are not perfect, and they begin to think, maybe my English is not good enough. My friend, let me tell you the truth. Mistakes at this stage are not a sign of weakness. They are a sign that you are growing. If you can tell a story in English, even with mistakes, you are already further than most learners ever go. Do not be ashamed of mistakes. Wear them with pride. They mean you are using English, not just studying it. Okay, the next stage in your English journey is about becoming natural. The structure of your language is already there. You can communicate, you can survive. You can even explain yourself in detail, but now you want to sound smooth. You want to sound fluent. You want to sound alive in English. This is when you begin to work on your pronunciation. You start paying attention not only to what you say, but how you say it. You learn the rhythm of English sentences, the music of intonation, the way native speakers connect words together. Instead of saying every word slowly and separately, you learn to flow. What do you want to do becomes what do you want to do. These small changes are decorations. They make your speech sound natural and fluent, not robotic. Your vocabulary continues to grow, often to 8,000 words or more, but here's the difference. You no longer memorize words for a test. You are learning words naturally through reading novels, listening to podcasts, or having real conversations. These words stay with you because they are connected to experiences and grammar. At this stage, grammar is no longer something you stop to think about. You don't pause and ask yourself, should I say, I have been or I went? The right choice just comes. It feels automatic, almost instinctive. It is the same as walking. You don't think about how to move your legs. You just walk. This is when you realize that English is not something outside of you anymore. It is inside you. It has become part of who you are. Okay, my friends, that is the journey from beginner to fluent. First, you build the foundation with basic words and grammar. Then you build the structure with more vocabulary and balanced practice. Then you expand the rooms with real-life situations. Next, you decorate with natural pronunciation, idioms, and advanced grammar. And finally, you live in the house. You live in English with fluency. The most important thing is not to rush. Do not try to skip levels. Walk step by step. And every step will prepare you for the next one. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you found this episode useful, make sure you subscribe, share it with a friend, and listen again tomorrow. Remember, learn slowly, learn daily, and fluency will come. I'm Jackson, and this is Elite English. Bye for now.